one of them Wolfwalkers.
Wolfwalkers?
The ones that can talk to wolves with some wild magic.
You can come out now. We can smell ya, you stink.
The smell of success for the hand-drawn animation Wolfwalkers is so fragrant it's everywhere in the air, and its vision of a golden harvest is strong and clear. The film, based from an Irish folklore, is entrancing audiences the world over, making its howling presence this award season, including at the Golden Globes.
Best Motion Picture Animated and Wolfwalkers.
These wolves, they're just beasts.
Tonight we put an end to this.
Discuss with us the design philosophy of the Wolfvision, the visionary Wolfvision in this film.
Maria, who you can see on the call here, she was very important in establishing a style and kind of the type of mark making as well. But it basically would have just started off with me messing with graphite on paper as soon as we were in production, and developing not only a sense of the render style, like what type of materials to use, but also the style of the camera, how much depth we needed in the shots. Like, does the camera move really far forward or really far back? Does it look around the corner? All these kind of things. So based on those criteria, we established, oh, well, we needed the camera to move a lot. So that established that we needed to use our 3D baseline for our previs. But after that, it was a lot of back and forth about, okay, how many lines do we have on the screen? How much detail is there on the screen? And I know, like, for Narissa's team as well, that worked with special effects animation on top of Wolfvision, as well as Tatiana Matei, who did a lot of the kind of cleanup style for characters as well in Wolfvision. So there was a huge kind of melting pot of, again, different parts that needed all to come together and complement each other. And I had different styles for how the town was being approached versus how the woods were being approached. And that was, again, trying to mirror what was being done with the final line department and the final color department, which was supervised by Eduardo and Stefano. So yeah, there was a lot of different reasons, but it was mostly just because I could see what other people are doing, and I go, okay, well, I can. It wasn't a very. It was kind of, you know, when you see it versus knowing exactly like what the ingredients are to make it. So there was about like 9 months of development before I got to a finished shot, but yeah, it was complicated.
I think it was also part of, like, they really wanted to represent what a wolf would really see or feel when it's in just like running in the forest. I think they wanted to make it different from the rest of the movie, in that the movie is very flat in general. The backgrounds are pretty flat, and they wanted to have like more like a three-dimensional space for the wolves, because they can hear stuff that are behind, and they can see things that are super far and things like this. So they wanted to create something a little bit more atmospheric for the wolves. And it was also like a lot of experiments with different colors for the different scents. We were studying the spectrum of the colors, and we were giving like the lower colors to the town people, and then the more vibrant reds and very passionate colors for the wild in the forest. So there was a lot of research, and I know that Tom and Ross, they were looking for reference to and see if they could see some pictures of what a wolf can see. but yeah, at the end it was just this idea of having something completely different that we cannot experience really as humans.
Robin, something's happened to me. Yeah, I can see that. It's flippin' great. You're a wolf now. Be a wolf.
My question is, midpoint in the film, in your amazing film, entrancing film, Meb and Robin went out for a day out in the forest, and then comes in the Aurora's running with the wolves. Kindly take us to that day or that days in the editing suite? What was happening there?
So that song was found by Tom. He was listening to some music, Wolf inspired music, while they were working on the storyboards very, very early on. And he took that song and gave it to the board artist Guillaume, and Guillaume just took that song and boarded to it directly all the way through. So when we got it back from him, it was this complete long sequence. But kind of when it came down to time to go into production with that sequence, we needed to cut it down a little bit. So I had to go through and try and trim stuff out of the song and try and match beats where I could, and hopefully not totally destroy it. But got the sequence down then to a little bit more of a more manageable length, but while trying to keep the joy and the energy that Guillaume originally brought to it. It was a bit of a challenge, but it was a fun one.
To kind of match the crescendos with the running and the jump and things like that were in the boards, but you manipulate those moments so that they fit better to the music, to the musical beats, the rises and the verses.
Exactly, yeah.
And there's a lot of actually dialogue in that scene. I think Richie did a really lovely job integrating the way people are talking, and then it's very tricky what happens in that. Like just when I watched afterwards, I was like really amazed how it was all so cleverly interwoven, and then how it finishes off very nicely at the end. Then when the two wolves are kind of cuddling up against each other on the tree at the end, it's really well done.
That's what the editor does, is tries to respect the idea of the emotional element in that beat, plus also what is available in the visual side of it too, and making sure that everything feels like it's naturally part of a flowing story.
Try to incorporate the mood of the song to the score. So it's why I have written strings, and Kila made arrangement with the percussions. And after we record the voice of Aura.
You have to leave. No way! I scared him off.
An unforgettable visual spectacle viewers young and old will find an easy attachment, much like what the team experienced working on this tale of family and friendship.
Beginning, we were 15 people in a room, just drawing a lot on paper and trying stuff out and having long lunches with a lot of wine, and then and that spirit never left. That spirit of camaraderie never left until the very last moment. That's what I think mattered the most to me.
And so is its spirit of female empowerment and environmental preservation. Irresistibly charming, I myself can help but to cry wolf. Well, in an entirely different sense from what you might know.
Ooh.
For Showbiz Report, Marvin Olasco.